what would you say like your thoughts on 2021 as a movie year were compared to 2020?
And really what we're doing is the Academy Award year, right? Because it doesn't match up with the calendar years.
Right.
There's some that come out like in January or whatever. So, you know what? After 2020, which was pretty sparse.
Just a lot of like really depressing, like, cold movies that year. But I mean, there was definitely some good ones. There were some good made ones on low budgets, but
yeah, but COVID kind of got in the way, and I feel like we're totally back. Mm-hmm. And I know there are a few movies that have come out this year that were maybe held back a little bit because of COVID, and it's really hard to put together this list this year because there were a lot of excellent movies.
Yeah,
there were a few disappointments too that maybe we can touch on as well, but. I thought it was a really good movie year.
Yeah, it definitely was. It was a good bounce back year. I mean, it wasn't definitely wasn't as great as it was for a few years there in the 2010s, but I mean, it's starting to head in that direction. I just liked a lot. The thing I found was interesting about the pandemic and filmmaking is just how people have been forced to kind of think outside the box. And we've seen kind of a big comeback and good writing in movies because that's how you got to carry it. That's how when films first started being made, you had to make them on cheap budgets, and your dialogue and your characters had to kind of carry the weight. And it felt like, throughout the 2010s, we kind of got lost in the spectacle of things a lot. And it was kind of great to get a year of a lot of grounded films like that, a lot of great filmmakers having to make films on low budgets this year. Guys that usually could get the funding couldn't get the funding, and that was a lot of it. But with that, you had to really be creative and be a filmmaker again. So it was great. Instead of just having the studio, control the direction of films, it was really interesting to kind of see almost this, bubbling throughout the independent scene as more, crowd-funded films and things like that get made, as opposed to like studio films. It's going to be interesting to see in this next decade how much that becomes a thing.
Yeah. So I thought it was a really good year. Not a whole lot of I don't know. The huge hits, a lot of the critically acclaimed hits anyway, were not like big CGI films and stuff. There were some of those, but like you said, there are a lot of movies with good storylines and good writing that really carried them more than special effects.
Or a good concept.
There were plenty of those too, but it was I felt like it was a pretty strong year.
Yeah, it was.